What we put out will come back to us. So be careful what you put out there.
You're starting to see all around you people speaking their truth, even though sometimes, in my opinion, it's an ugly truth or an unhealthy truth or even a devilish truth, if you like. But, that has given me the ability to see the life I made before in relation to the business people I was working with, in relation to the friends I was spending time with, and in relation even to family members I had thought were close to me, so-called blood relatives. And then to see what's really going on, it's, I guess they say you always know who your friends are when the chips are down, right? Or when the challenges are up, you get to really see who people are. It's easy to be happy and friendly when everything's easy, right? When things are challenged, you see the challenged eyes of people and their actions. And for me, that's allowed me to hone my own truth a little further over these last couple of years, because it's definitely changed quite a bit. The core is the same, freedom. I'm always about that, but how to get there and what that means for me has really gone through a drastic enhancement, let's say, over the last 18, 19 months.
Yeah, it's definitely the unveiling, isn't it? I think what's happening, with the unveiling is we're starting to see this world that we actually were living in and that we were complying with and that we were creating, but we were all in a bit of, a bit of a stupor. We had this program over us so that we couldn't quite see it. But as that lifts, we are seeing it, and that is making us, putting us in a position where we now have to choose. Are we going to keep going along, with what we used to do, or are we going to do something different? And of course, if we're going to do something different, what is that? What is that truth? What are we going to do? Are we just going to run around and yell and protest just because other people are doing it? Or are we going to sit down, figure out who we are, where we want to go, figure out a plan of how to get there, and just start walking? You don't need to watch the news. Believe me, you will find out what's going on. It's impossible not to. But then if you're going to spend your time going down all these rabbit holes and, oh my God, it's so bad, and look what they're saying, you're falling for their plan. They're leading you down a road. So we need to, rise above that. And it all starts with, who are you and what do you want and where do you want to go? What do you want to create? What do you stand for? All that kind of stuff.
Take a stock of what you want with your life, what you've always wanted. I've had the opportunity, I can only talk about myself and what I've done, going back to when I was a little boy, looking at what I felt about life, what I felt about religion, family, friends, money, everything, what I really, really wanted to create, and to see what I let go of or lost along the way for whatever reasons you do when you become an adult. We all drop maybe some of the inspirations we had as a child growing up. They say, oh, you can't do that now that you're this age, or you shouldn't do that, or you have to be responsible to do this, or you have to go to school to do that. And probably if you're like me, you looked at all the times you were suggested those bad pathways, I'll call them for myself. And probably at the time, your initial guts were saying, yeah, it's the best way to say, no, right? And then eventually you go, well, I want a house and I want a home and I want a car and I want a wife or a girlfriend or whatever. And, you say, okay, I guess I gotta, fill in your own blanks. And was that your truth? And I would say, since, we're talking about your truth, maybe unveiling your truth, I found for me, it wasn't. I was taking other people's truths, right? I was saying, well, I don't really like them, but okay, it's just not working anymore, right? You can't just go to the work and get a job and have some savings and feel all right, right? You can't just go to your bars anymore. But I'm seeing the lies that are being put to people and figuring out, you can't be waiting for your truth to come from outside yourself. I guess we can talk about that. Speak your truth. It has to come from inside you. If it's an honest truth, I feel.
Definitely. I mean, that's the whole game. Is them, the powers that want to be, they're not creative, so they need to take our creative force, and they do that by making us think what they want. And so this is self-education, right? Well, we need to be self-educated. We need to do our own research and get many different points of view so that we can get a perspective that means something. If you've only got one point of view, you're being told something. You're being led down the road. And if you're doing the same as everyone else as a majority, same thing, guys, you're being led down the road, because we know that they don't care if you're part of the masses. They don't care. They'll let you do that all day long. It's only when you want to do something different and you think for yourself, that's when you're a problem to the system, and can't be that problem unless you know who you are. And this is what the change is. It's all, the old system is dying, and it has to crumble. And this is why people are confused. They want to keep it. They want to keep it because they don't know who they are. It's safe, right?
Mm.
It's like being at mummy and daddy's house. They don't have to make too many decisions. That all comes from not knowing who you are, not standing your ground, not standing for something. It's slave mentality. Look where it's got us. So we clearly need to do something completely different. And the main thing is, understand that no one has, this whole system thing. They don't get to make the rules. They don't. That they actually have less validity than us because, look what they're doing. They're trying to control the creation. So that really null and voids them as any kind of leader, as far as I'm concerned. And unless you're willing to defend your truth, it's not truth. It's just an idea that someone's given you that sounds good to you at that point in time. That's all it is.
Yeah, they do. And you don't need a reward for your truth. That's the other thing. You don't need someone to tell you it's okay or it's good or you're going to even get paid for it. I mean, everyone needs their abundance and everyone needs their house. And I can go on and on. Everyone wants to eat, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all givens. So I don't really need to talk about it. But if something is your truth, you don't have to say, this is my truth. Is that okay? Or this is my truth. Do I get paid for that? Or this is my truth. Do you love me because I have, fill in your own, what you're waiting to hear back from. No, speaking your truth comes from inside and you don't give, two farts on a windy day, that anybody cares or not cares because it's your truth. And, I'm not saying you should go out and hurt anybody because I don't think that's an honest truth for anybody, but unless they're trying to do something to you, I guess. But, your truth is your truth and it will. It will. I can hear a lot of people in the ether now saying, well, what about this? What about that? And what about the mortgage? And what about, fill in your blanks about all the reasons I can't stand in my truth. But the world, when you stand in your truth, will give you more options. It's that simple. If you stand in your truth and you don't know what's coming next, something will show up.
On my side, got all